Yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Thursday. Good morning. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. Good morning to all.
Good morning. What's up, Jess? How you feeling?
Good morning. I feel good. Yo, my kids did better than I expected.
And the swimming?
Yeah, and Ash killed it.
He killed it?
Yeah.
Good. Was the pool warm?
Yeah, yo, it actually was.
I told you.
It actually was. And that is like the number one complaint. You're right.
I told you. So if you're just joining us yesterday, Jess was talking about taking her 2 kids swimming for the first time.
Yes.
And so how did the experience go?
It went great. All right, so Marley, she's in the tadpole stage, right?
Yep.
Shout out to British Swim School. She's in the tadpole stage. She already on level 4.
I love it.
Oh my God, like it, and then my baby's so big, right? Y'all know that's from the breast milk, and then her dad is tall, so she's already like we know she's gonna be tall. They could not believe she was 9 months.
Really?
Like my daughter's big, crazy. And then Ash, he was doing the backstroke and the I was like, okay, so you can. So I'm gonna tell Envy you can swim. You just holding out on me.
Just holding out on you.
So somebody he had already learned before in his life?
Yeah, I just didn't know that. I didn't know that, so I'm like, and
So
I'm paying for this.
He breaststroking, he freestyling, and you like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like, yo, and I'm paying for this, and you already know how to swim. Like, what the hell? But yeah. He is learning. He actually wants to like train to swim.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, all right. You made it seem like you wanted swim lessons because you didn't know how to swim. He was like, no, I just want to learn how to swim better. I want to swim.
What's his favorite stroke pause?
Yeah.
What does he like? What does he enjoy?
I don't know. I don't know what he likes because he was doing it all, yo. He was swimming on the side. Then I didn't think he knew how to float. He know how to float. I'm like, yo, this is great. I'm underestimating.
So he want to be the next Michael Phelps.
Yeah, he said he wants to train.
So,
I was like, okay.
So you know, in high school, I was on the swim team. I did backstroke.
Oh God!
I'm telling you, really, I'm serious.
Of course, you
but you know
did.
the reason why I gave up.
Of course, you did.
Was because in high school
you started getting backstrokes in the industry.
Shut up. In high school, you'd have to wear the little tiny pants.
Yeah.
And you know, at first when you practice it and you train it, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But then when you look in the stands and you start seeing girls in there and people in there, you're like, nah, B, I'm not doing this no more.
Look at you now. The backstrokes and the Daisy Dukes got you where you are. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
Look at that boy with the Daisy Dukes on.
Oh my
I
God.
want you to. Look at you.
My goodness.
Look at you.
All right. Well, Rodney Dogchild Jerkins will be joining us.
Man.
Rodney Jerkins will be here in a little bit.
Super producer Rodney Jerkins. You know, he's getting inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Correct.
He's worked with everybody from Michael Jackson to Brandy,
Whitney Houston.
Destiny's Child. And not just worked with them. Some people say they work with them, but think about the records. The Boy Is Mine.
Yes.
You Rock My
Almost the
World.
whole Never Say Never. Yeah.
Yes.
He said
You know what I mean?
the whole
Say
album.
my name.
It's not
Say
right,
my
but it's
name.
okay by Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes, and he's also bringing his artist John Keith, who's a Christian artist, and he has a new album called Grow Wings.
Yep.
Nice.
So we'll talk to both of them today. And Rodney Jerkins, he's from Atlantic City. He has a history on him of how he got in the game and how he learned.
And if you don't know, y'all, because I know y'all probably like Rodney Jerkins, that's the song that you hear come on and they be like, Dark Child.
That's very true.
I grew up on that Dark Child.
Dog Child.
Yes.
All right, so we'll kick it with him. But let's get in some front page news when we come back. Let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to
What is it? Lil Duval.
Dropping a clues bomb for my guy, Lil Duval. So why we not playing Living My Best Life? Come on now. Like, turn that off.
We'll give you a second to pull
Turn
it
that
up.
off.
We'll give you a second to
Pull
pull
up
it up.
Lil Duval, Living My Best Life.
Yes.
Lil Duval got a few records out right now, by
That's
the way.
right.
Activities.
It's his ass.
Duval, let me see. I'll
'Cause
be
he still look
47.
good.
He's 40. He turned 48 today.
I feel like
Because I
he's
turned
been young.
47 in a few weeks.
Yeah, happy birthday,
My
Lil
whole
Duval.
life.
He turned
Okay.
47.
Yes.
Nice,
We got it
nice.
up? He's typing it in right now. And I want to let you know that me training the dogs is getting a lot better. They're starting to
good.
listen.
Yeah, you're starting to look like you have a lot more sleep.
Yes.
So good.
They're starting to, because they're not pooping and peeing. I don't have to wake up in the morning and clean poop and pee before I leave. I just walk them, put them back, and they're getting better.
That's what it is. I love it.
All right, here we go.
Happy born day, my guy, Lil Duval, man. Dropping a clues bomb for Lil Duval. We going to Duval Day this year, too.
Hey.
It's the Breakfast Club. Come on, let's go.
Hey, happy born day, Lil Duval. You know, Lil Duval got Duval Day on July 12th, but this year he's doing a whole weekend, so he got his Duval Day concert that Friday, July 11th with the Baby and Plies and Boss Man D-Lo and Skilla Baby and Jacquees. Bunch of different people. It's going to be at the Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville. So you can go to Ticketmaster and get your tickets for that.
Salute to Duval. All right, well, let's get in some front page news. Now, if it's true and Jay-Z really bet $1 million that OKC would win in 4, he lost his money. He lost his money. Because last night the Pacers won 116-107. They lead the series 2-1. I don't think anybody expected that, but it might be the Pacers might take it now. Like this might be the Pacers' year.
I didn't know. I mean, I think I saw them winning in at least 2 games. I still think OKC will win the series, though.
I don't know. This might be the Pacers' time. They beat Cleveland. They beat New York.
Why deserve a chance?
Yeah,
they
might be their time.
This is the era I hate. We do this every day, every time. Last game, he was like, I don't think if they'll win another game.
I didn't.
You know what I'm saying? But now they win, and it's like, this might be their year. Then when OKC win by 20 next game, they'd be like, I don't know who's going to win the series. Exactly. It's like, we don't.
But this team wasn't supposed to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. They weren't supposed to beat the Knicks.
Indiana has been probably the best team in the league since February, bro.
So they've been
one of the top 3 teams in the league since February. It's not a surprise.
It might be written for them this year. I don't know.
Were they once the underdogs? Did they just come out of nowhere?
I think they were the
like
underdog in every series. They were the underdog versus Cleveland. They were the underdog versus the Knicks. They were the underdogs here. Yes.
People just don't watch Indiana. Since about February, they've been like the top 3 team.
But they've been the underdog for all these series.
But look at Cleveland was injured. Like they had players down in Cleveland.
That's why I said it
Milwaukee,
might be
Damian Lillard didn't play.
That's why I said it might be their time. That's why I'm saying that.
Ain't nobody hurt on OKC yet.
No.
It's a 7-game series.
They're losing. All right. Well, good morning, Morgan.
Oh, hey, good morning, y'all. How we feeling on a Thursday?
Good.
All right, good. Love to hear that. Of course, we'll address the developments of what's going on in L.A. regarding the anti-ICE protests. But first, on front page, let's get into some international news. The State Department is ordering all non-essential staff to leave the embassy of Iraq as tensions flare up between the U.S. and Iran. Now, President Trump confirmed the development last night as he visited the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. to see Les Miserables. Let's take a listen to his comments.
Well, they are being moved out because it could be a dangerous place, and we'll see what happens. But they are we've given notice to move out, and we'll see what happens.
Somebody was shooting behind him. What was going on in there?
Right.
What was that noise?
Probably preparing for his military parade. Staff members are also being told to leave the U.S. embassies in Kuwait and Bahrain. The order came early Wednesday after Iran threatened to target U.S. military bases in the U.S. The U.S. and Iran had reportedly reached a stalemate in their nuclear negotiations, and President Trump has threatened to strike if the Iran talks failed. Now, Iran's defense minister responded to Trump's threats by saying it will target without hesitation U.S. bases within its reach. In other international affairs, trade to be specific, White House says that President Trump is going through the proposed trade deal with China. Now, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Trump is happy to work with his trade team and happy with the work the trade team has done, and shared details on the proposed trade deal with China at yesterday's briefing. Let's take a listen to that.
China has agreed to open their markets to the United States separately of this deal. And when it comes to this deal, we're going back to the terms that were agreed upon in Geneva for the release of some of those critical minerals and the magnets from China to the United States. And we have agreed to fully comply with the Geneva Agreement as well.
She went on to say that Trump will have more to say on the subject soon. And Elon Musk is walking back his comments, but I won't get too much into that. We'll talk more about that at 7. He said he might have gone too far. But yeah, we'll get into those comments at 7. And then we'll go ahead and also talk about what's also happening in L.A. regarding these anti-ICE protests. So stick around for more front page news.
Keep telling y'all, money is not power. Power is power. So, you Elon Musk and you jump out there and get sporty. And then Donald Trump says, all right, I think we want to cancel some of his contracts, his government contracts. Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry, boss.
All right. Well, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. It's a new day. This is your time to get it off your chest. Wake up. Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning. Your President Stud.
Tamika,
What's up, Tamika?
Take us off Bluetooth or speaker if you got us on there.
Tamika, I'm glad you called because I got a question for you. But go ahead and what you need to say.
I took y'all off. But God is so good. Every time I call y'all, I get through. Every time.
All praises due. I'm glad you called because I got a question for you.
It's her birthday first. It's her birthday.
Happy born day.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Who blowing out your plastic candle today?
Whoa.
My girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Good relationship.
I saw a stud.
Yeah, my girl.
I saw a stud on Instagram yesterday. It was a video my wife showed me, and she was saying that she from wearing the strap on, and she said it's a mental thing. How?
Charlotte, we gotta go over this again.
Yeah, he needs.
I ain't never heard this one. That was a new one. Now listen.
Well, like when you have the strap on, right? You it's a harness. You hook it up to you, and it's by your. I don't want to say the word. Yes, vagina.
Wow.
So as you're penetrating the girl, it's also against your.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your clitoris. I don't know if I can say that on the radio.
Okay, you learn something. Okay, you learn something new every day. Okay.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to know that, Charlotte, because you're not a woman and you're not a lesbian.
Well,
so how would you?
Yeah, tell us
because
business.
First of all, stud business. If you putting it on Instagram, it's everybody's business. So if you putting it on Instagram, making a video for the world to see, I'm going to sit there and watch and be like, well, how the hell is that possible?
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yes.
Because I be intrigued by the transgenders, like the women going to boys, and they keep showing that on my timeline. Like, I want to be a boy. I don't want to be a boy.
That's AI, man. That's AI. When you see the women transform the boys on Instagram, that's AI. That's what that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to give a shout out to Loren. I am so proud of you, Loren. Continue doing your thing. Do not listen to Charlotte because your wigs be looking good, girl. Don't listen to him.
She ain't wore one in a while.
Yeah.
Either way, she looking good, Charlotte. Don't do that to her. She is just a chocolate glistening.
Yes, she is.
Lauren is the shout out to Lauren.
Why should we listen to you when you moan when somebody your scrap on?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mika.
All right, I love y'all. Shout out to everybody. I love y'all. Have a good day.
You too, babe.
Oh my goodness.
You listening to her?
Hello, who's this?
Stupid.
J.A. from Indy.
What's up, Jay? Your Pacers is doing it.
I mean, you don't have to tell me, but I appreciate you trying to support now.
I'm not trying to support. I'm definitely not supporting. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm not supporting.
I'm going to be real quick and brief. It's not over. And Jess, this is before your time. And Loren, this is before your time for being Charlamagne. Remember, back in the day, it said it's not over for the fat lady league.
That's right.
You can't nobody tell anymore because she don't know physics. But it's over.
Goodbye, Jay.
No, it's not over, bro. Like you need to remember Kobe Bryant. What's there to celebrate? Job not done. Job not finished.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, yo, peace. This is T from Poughkeepsie.
Peace, T. What up? Get it off your chest.
Hey, yo, I got a disagree to agree situation with you, Charlamagne, real fast. You know, being that you're the rep for mental health.
Yes, sir. It's Men's Mental Health Month too, by the way.
Most definitely, and I feel like it's a direct shot to those men that portray to be gay. You know what I mean? Because if you're gay, I feel like that's a mental health issue. Regardless, like, do you agree or disagree with that?
No, I don't think being gay is a mental health issue. I think that people are born.
Why don't you figure that's far as the trauma? I mean, the person don't wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm attracted to men." Something just has to happen in that mental state. That's why I feel like
I don't believe that. But continue.
No, I'm just saying, like, you really think about it, really understand where I'm coming from. When I say mental health is something within you. I mean, so now you portraying to be something that you're not, then that is like a what? Don't you call that bipolar or like a multi-personality person? Like, I mean, so now you're portraying to be something that you're not.
But I don't think
that's a mental health issue.
Yeah, I don't think they're portraying to be something that they're not. I think that you wake up and you naturally you
right, but that's a sexual preference, Charlamagne. That's a sexual preference.
I'm not gay. So
I mean, I'm a married man of 5. I don't know nothing about that. I mean, but I'm saying I was on TikTok and I had a panel and I was really talking about it. And a lot of people got offended, but at the end of the day, you got to keep it a buck. At the end of the day, these want to pretend to be men, and these men be out here pretending to be women. That's a mental health situation that we're going to put on right now.
Whoa. Now you're confusing things. Now you're talking about transgenders right now. You ain't talking about...
Everything. You're pretending to be. You know the men that have the sassy voices, the that be having the Like, that's a mental health issue, bro. Let's put it all on Front Street, bro.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Who pinched your butt?
Yeah, why
are you
No.
with this morning? What's up? Why?
I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people that like. I'm tired of people judging the people that's actually coming up with truth. This is true,
my brother.
bro. In the Bible, how can you be gay and be Christian?
Let me ask you a
question. When the Bible claims, I mean, come on, like put two together, bro.
The Bible also says, "Do not judge," and you're doing a lot of judging this morning. Let me ask you a question.
Let
me ask you a question.
Not judgmental.
Who did you see that made your penis jump? Was it Michael Jordan and Sinners? Come on, tell me the truth.
Yeah, bro. See, that's what I mean. You jump.
Why, bro? Go have some cereal. Have you had breakfast yet?
Go have some cereal.
I'm serious.
Hey,
Some
Fruity Pebbles.
Good, man.
Have some Fruity Pebbles.
Jesus Christ.
Hello, who's this? Why you got to get Fruity Pebbles though? Hello, who's this?
Yo.
He wouldn't even eat Fruity Pebbles without saying pause.
Ron, what's up? Get off your chest, Ron.
What's going on? Good morning, Evie, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing?
What's up, brother?
Peace.
Hey, Charlamagne.
Yes, sir.
Don't try to switch up now, bro. You had no faith in the paper.
That's not true. I said, and by the way, I still don't think they're gonna win the series. I mean, that's why I said. I said my prediction was I don't know what the numbers are going to be. I don't know if it'll be Game 6, Game 7, but I think OKC gonna win the series.
I mean, yeah, but nobody had faith in the Pacers from Game 1. I mean, round 1 against the Bucks, against the Cavs, or against the Knicks. Y'all really thought they was done against.
I thought they were done versus Cleveland. I thought they were going to be done versus the Knicks. And I definitely
Why
didn't
think they
were
was done versus Cleveland? They won Cleveland 4-1.
Yeah, but no, before they even played Cleveland, I didn't think they had a chance.
Before they played Cleveland,
I didn't think they had a shot. So, like I said,
Cleveland had injuries though. Who was my guy's name on Cleveland that was hurt? I can't remember right now.
Point guard. But I didn't think they were gonna have a shot. But I mean, y'all, this might be your time.
It's only 2-1. Everybody relax.
I didn't even think they was gonna win 2-1.
Y'all did the same thing when they went 2-0 against the Knicks.
You right. Well, I
wish
you the best.
Hey, that's all I wanted to say, man. I gotta get back to this road. Hey, Jess, Evie.
Yes, sir. Hey,
be
safe on that road.
By the way, we're not comparing the
Y'all
Knicks.
have a good one, man. Love y'all.
We're not comparing the Knicks to the Oklahoma City Thunder, guys. Okay, Oklahoma City Thunder have been the best team in the league all year. It's a 7-game series.
Cleveland has been the best team on the East, and they beat Cleveland. You can say
but they
the
were
injuries.
hurt. They had injuries, man. They had injuries. I cannot remember who was injured. It was a star player. Who was injured? Who? Maurice. Darius Garland. Exactly.
Yeah. Now we got the latest with Loren coming up. What are we talking about?
Yes, we are going to talk about Miss Ananda Lewis, and we're going to take some time to send some love to her family and just reflect on her career.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fact.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm a homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
What was the latest?
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So we want to take some time this morning to send some love to Ananda Lewis's family. She passed away yesterday after a battle with breast cancer. The news was announced by her sister via her sister's Facebook. Ananda Lewis, for those who may not know, trailblazing TV host, model, Howard University graduate. She was an advocate. She was BT's Teen Summit in 1995, MTV TRL and Hot Zone in 97. She also did her own syndicated daytime talk show in 2001, The Ananda Lewis Show. And then she worked for a bunch of other outlets, including ET. She was crowned Hip Hop Generation's It Girl back in 99 by the New York Times. And she's been very vocal about her battle with breast cancer. So she spoke to ABC just about, her legacy and how she wanted to be remembered. Let's take a listen.
What is it that you hope people say about you, people remember about you?
Maybe that I loved hard and lived loud and didn't back away from problems and loved this life and was okay with letting it go too.
So sad.
Very sad. The most tragic thing about that story is reading how she regretted how she chose to handle her initial diagnosis.
Yes.
And she said she didn't get regular mammograms.
Right.
And she wanted to do alternative methods when she got diagnosed. And
yeah, and we actually have that clip. That was in the same ABC interview where she talked about her experience with mammograms. Let's take a listen to that.
I wanted to share what was happening to me because I saw places I could have done better. I really do believe that everything is working for my good. I know by 47 I should have had my first mammogram, right? And I didn't do that because I saw my mom do it for 30 years and she still ended up being diagnosed with breast cancer. I didn't have the understanding then that I had now. So I, did the best I could with the information I had at the time, and now that's changed. But that's also one of the reasons I decided to share. I wanted other women who were avoiding mammograms to just bite the bullet and go get it.
Yes, especially if you got a history of it in your family, like.
Yeah, 100%. I actually started early with like full body scans and mammograms because of the history of my family. But I will say, for a lot of people, when you see it in real time, like you see it happen to someone else, it does make your way of thinking about treatment or other things very your own experience. And I don't think people understand it until you actually go through it.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation online, or maybe it's true information. I have no idea. But I know when Gia went and she got her mammogram and she posted about it and talked about the experience, there was a lot of people in the comments that were saying, don't get a mammogram. Mammogram makes the cancer come faster and this, that, and the other. And a lot of people were saying that. So people believe that as well. But, up here, we always say, go to the doctor, get checked out.
No matter
You'd rather know what happens and be able to try to figure it out before it's too late.
Yeah, some of these things are preventable. And I don't care if people call you a hypochondriac. I don't care if people tell you that you bugging. Take your ass to the doctor. Don't listen to TikTok.
Yes, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, so I do want to mention that the day that Ananda passed away was her son Langston's graduation from middle school. So it is of course a bittersweet day for their family. That is what her sister told TMZ. But they also talked about, she was surrounded by her family at her home when this happened, and they've already began planning a memorial for her in the next few weeks. And her family says that they have received an outpouring of love, especially from celebrities who she's encountered, Ananda encountered in her career, who already are telling her family they want to speak during her memorial about how she influenced their careers and how she handled their interviews with them so well during their careers, which ultimately helped them. So
yeah, she's one of those ones who influenced so many but didn't get her just due. And I think it's because and it's like there was no social media back then. So it didn't amplify what it was that she was doing, and it didn't preserve a lot of those moments for this generation to go back and watch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you got to go down a rabbit hole on like YouTube to see Ananda's like clips. But I also too, my biggest thing with watching her when I did get to see her, like when people would like repost clips and stuff like that, her look and just how she carried herself, even in her sit down interviews, like she had huge interviews, but she was always like the same in every single interview, but she was well researched.
She had her own talk show. I remember when they were saying Ananda was going to be the next Oprah.
I mean, it was daytime syndicated talk show. That's a huge lot to have.
Yes, before the Wendy's, right there, like
right around Wendy's. Was still doing it, yeah?
No. Wendy was on the radio.
That was 2001. The Ananda Lewis show was 2001. Yes,
they were saying she was going to be the next Oprah.
Well, sending her family love. I know that they need it right now, and just wanted to take some time to say rest in peace to her.
Absolutely,
I remember her. In a lighter news update, remember we talked about Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. So he has posted on his Twitter just thanking everybody for the outpouring of love that he received, and wanted to let us know that he's doing well. So he said, "Wow, I am truly blessed by the abundance of well wishes for all the thoughts and prayers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can assure you all everything is okay and will continue to be so. God got me like no other. I have so much more work to do to glorify God, so please believe God got me. I'm excited to get back to Colorado, to be at home with my staff, team, and all associated to our program. When we arrive back to Boulder, you will be updated on everything. Until then, I'm coming, baby. # Coach Prime."
Salute to Coach Prime, man.
Salute to Prime.
Definitely sending him healing and NJ.
Yes. That's it for the first hour.
All right. That's the latest with Loren. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, last night, NBA, the Pacers beat the OKC 116-107. The Pacers lead the series 2-1. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, so as previously mentioned in last hour, Elon Musk is walking back what he said about President Donald Trump, saying that he went too far. Now, this follows the war of words with the president on social media last week, which started with his opposition to Trump's massive spending bill and culminated with him claiming that Trump was mentioned in the Epstein files. Musk later deleted the post. Now Musk is saying that he has regrets and that he regrets some of the posts he made about Trump and wrote on X this yesterday morning that they went too far. What do you guys think about that?
I still don't believe any of this feud. I think it was all wrestling. I still believe that, Elon's companies were suffering and, they wanted to do something to try to get him in good standing. And it still didn't work. Because I think they said he lost like $152 billion in Tesla stock.
Yep.
On the same day that it happened. But when you think about all the other things that can come from this, like, they're talking about building a Golden Dome. Who you think's going to get that contract?
Yep.
They're still going to be giving them government contracts for SpaceX. I really think it was all wrestling. I really do. I think the only way Elon's going to really save his companies is to step down.
Interesting take. All right, let's switch gears to LA. The White House says the anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles are aimed at American culture and society. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said California is being led by Democrat radicals. She accused LA Mayor Karen Bass of engaging in a campaign of lies, blaming President Trump and law enforcement officers for the violence, and slammed California Governor Gavin Newsom's response to the protests. Let's take a listen to Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
These attacks were aimed not just at law enforcement, but at American culture and society itself. Rioters burned American flags, chanted "Death to ICE," and spray-painted anti-American slogans on buildings. Democrats like Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass shamefully failed to meet their sworn obligations to their citizens. They didn't have the courage to do the right thing and protect law-abiding Californians from rioters. That's why President Trump deployed the National Guard and mobilized Marines.
Leavitt also warned cities attempting similar types of protests will not be successful. She added President Trump will never allow mob rule, and he won't allow his mass deportation efforts to be deterred by left-wing radicals.
The most interesting thing about this, Morgan, is, if you listen to people who actually live in Los Angeles, like who actually live in L.A., they are saying the White House and media are hyping this situation up. They're saying it's an isolated incident and it's nowhere near as bad as the media and White House are portraying it.
Yeah, let's get into that. In fact, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, she declared a local emergency as anti-ICE protests stretch into its 6th day. Now, the interesting fact that you mentioned is that the actual area seems to be about a 1 mile to 2 mile block radius in terms of, the grand scheme of LA City and LA County. So Bass issued the 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew on Tuesday for part of downtown LA. The curfew covers a 1 to 2 mile square area where the majority of the violence and vandalism has taken place since Friday. It's expected to remain in place for at least the next several days. Now, Bass spoke about what led her to make the decision to issue a state of emergency and the curfew. Let's take a listen to her comments.
Clearly, after the violence that took place last night, 23 businesses looted, and just the extensive, widespread nature of the vandalism, we reached a tipping point and declared a state of emergency and called for the curfew.
Now, California Governor Gavin Newsom, he says the state is increasing state and regional law enforcement to that region. Newsom says the effort is to, in his words, clean up Trump's mess amid protests that have turned violent at times. Let's take a listen to comments from California Governor Gavin Newsom.
It is wrong to destroy other people's property, and it is wrong to create the conditions that only exacerbate this. But Donald Trump, at the end of the day, is the sponsor of these conditions.
So Newsom says he is working to send over 800 additional officers to Los Angeles to manage and help the situation and restore order. So dozens were arrested yesterday. LAPD officers issued another dispersal order after declaring unlawful assembly outside the downtown federal buildings.
Like I always say, man, all humans, regardless of what your race is, your sexuality is, your gender, in this country, we just want some money in our pocket and we want to feel safe. Sending the National Guard and the Marines into LA to deal with people protesting ICE raids, that's not making folks feel safe. Like if you're going to be putting the military on people who are, assembling and protesting, peacefully protesting, that's not going to make anybody feel safe. Even if you're not out there, that shouldn't make you feel safe.
But wait, there's more. Something to note: if ICE plans to deploy tactical units to locations across the country ahead of expected protest activity this weekend. That's according to a report from Fox News. So-called special response teams will be deployed in New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Seattle, and Northern Virginia, and possibly even Washington, D.C. Similar teams, of course, were deployed in Los Angeles in recent days amid the anti-ICE demonstrations. It's being called No King's Day. Its protests are anticipated across the country Saturday to coincide with the Trump administration's military parade marking President's birthday and also the Army's birthday. So keep that in mind if you're in one of those major cities and you plan to venture out.
And please, ICE agents, just don't forget who you after. Okay, you after illegal immigrants. You after these people coming into America illegally. You know, the ones that y'all told us are committing crimes. Like, you know, I don't think nobody is against the deportation of illegal immigrants who are here committing crimes. Just go after the criminals. Like, don't go after, you know, people who are just trying to make it in this country, who are just trying to figure it out. Like, you know, that's I think that's the issue. The issue is, you know, people going to, what are the things called? The immigration court and getting locked up there. Like, people that are actually trying to go through the process and do the right thing, and they're getting snatched up and deported. That's where the issues are.
All right, y'all. So that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on socials at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Morgan.
All right, Morgan.
Peace, Morgan.
Now, when we come back, Rodney Jerkins will be joining us. We're going to be kicking it with Rodney Jerkins and his new artist, John Keefe. You know Rodney Jerkins, producer extraordinaire. He did everything from You Rock My World for Michael Jackson, The Boy Is Mine, Brandy and Monica, Say My Name, Destiny's Child, just to name a few. We'll talk to him next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
That's right.
We got the OG, the icon, the legend, Rodney Jerkins, celebrating 30 years of Dog Child. He's inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
That's big.
Congratulations. And he also brought his new artist, John Keefe.
Hey.
Welcome. How you feeling, first and foremost?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
You good?
I'm blessed. Yeah,
John Keefe, no pressure, but Rodney has sold over 500 million records worldwide. He's worked with Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Brandy, Justin Bieber, SZA, Sam Smith, just to name a few. So no pressure. No pressure, okay?
Easy work.
Yeah.
So how you feeling, first and foremost? Well, we got to get to, you know, I like to bring, when we have icons and legends like you, I like to start from the beginning. Now, you from Atlantic City.
Yes, sir.
From Atlantic City. And how did you get into music? What made you say, I want to be a producer? And then being from Atlantic City, anybody from Atlantic City will tell you it's very difficult to get out there. How did you get out there where people started hearing your beats and you started selling some stuff?
My mom was a housekeeper. So she would go and she would take care of other people's houses, and she would hear these little kids playing piano or being taught. She was like, I need this guy to teach my son. So I'm 5 years old. I didn't want to play the piano, to be honest, but my dad had a house rule. You got to play piano to live under this roof.
Damn.
So all our siblings play. We all play. I took the lessons, and probably when I was about 10, 11, I discovered, like, I wanted to be a producer. I heard Michael Jackson's album, and then I started kind of, you know, back in the day, you read the credits.
Yeah,
Teddy
of course.
Riley was someone that I really admired. I saw Teddy Riley on a lot of credits, and I'm like, yo, I want to do this. I need to do this. So back in the day, there was a magazine called Black Beat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I saw an interview, and it said it had all the top producers, Pete Rock, you know, everybody. And it was like, we use the MPC to make the beats.
MPC 60 back then, right?
MPC 60. And I was like, I need this. Can't afford that. My dad borrowed $1,200 off his life insurance, got the MPC for me, and we going.
Random question. How was it growing up in Atlantic City? Because I love Atlantic City because my daughter does a lot of cheerleading competitions. Yeah. And for some reason, when I go out there, I just get a good peace of mind. Like, I go out there and write and all types of stuff. How was it growing up there as a child?
It was hard because there was no outlet. There was no studios there. There was no outlet for music. So I had to get on New Jersey Transit, you know, taking that 2.5 an hour bus ride pretty much every other day just to try to get put on.
Wow. To New York?
But let me tell you, I got discovered by Teddy Riley at the Impact Convention.
Where was that at?
Atlantic City.
Wow. Break that down.
So he heard a demo that I produced. He wasn't really into the guy singing the demo, but he was like, yo, this producer is dope. So the manager told me, I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, Teddy Riley heard it. We need to go see him. He's like, where's he at? I said, well, the credits say he's in Virginia Beach. So we got to go to Virginia Beach. My dad was like, that's like a 6-hour drive. Like, whatever, let's go. So we hop in the car, we hop in the van, the church van, because my dad's a pastor. Hop in the church van, we go to Virginia Beach, stand in Teddy Riley's. We was in his parking lot probably for like half the day.
Now, for people that don't know, Teddy Riley's from Harlem. He built this huge studio in Virginia Beach, and it was beautiful. Everybody worked there, from Pharrell to Bobby Brown to Michael Jackson.
Yep. So we go there in the parking lot. We just waiting for him to show up, and then finally he shows up like 6-7 hours later. We pull up on him. I'm like, I'm the kid that produced. I'm like literally 14 years old. I'm like, you just heard my beat. He was like, that was you? And I was like, yeah. He was like, come on, come in the studio. Rest is history.
Wow.
And so now that I'm getting inducted, and Teddy Riley's the one inducted me.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Where did the famous Dark Child come from? Where did you get that?
I just, it was really, the name itself came from the style that I felt that I was creating. I love dark minor chords. I was youthful. I'm a young kid, so I kind of took those words and played with it. Yeah. But then I just started saying, I didn't know that I was really one of the first ones, maybe the first one doing a producer tag.
Producer tag, yeah.
I didn't know it at the time because I was just like, I was just trying to brand myself. So I was like, how they gonna know who did the record? So I was like, Dark Child. I would say it, Dark Child. And then what happened was the artist started to say it. Yeah. So like Tony Braxton sang it, and then Whitney said it, and then Michael said
Jackson.
it, and then her said it.
Yep.
Like they just started saying it. So I was like, yo, I ain't gotta say it no more. Let them say it.
I love that.
Now I gotta ask. Now you just glazed over Michael Jackson. Talk about how you started working with Michael Jackson. How was that call, and how was he in the studio? Because you were actually in the studio with him.
The greatest artist I've ever worked with, hands down. Like I ain't know what I was 21 years old. So you're talking about 21-year-old kid working with Michael Jackson.
How did they call? How was that? How did he reach out?
Oh, it called. Yo, this is real crazy. It called from a dream.
What?
It happened from it happened from a dream.
Oh.
I was in my mom.
How did you say that before?
I was in my mom and dad's house on the couch. Took a nap, and I had a dream. Literally had this dream that I was pulling up to the studio with glass windows, and I saw Michael Jackson in a red shirt, that red shirt with the black pants in the window. I woke up from the dream, told my mother and father the dream I just had. The phone rings like 10 minutes later. Lady by the name of Carol Bayer Sager calls. You probably don't even know what that is. She wrote That's What Friends Are For.
Okay.
It's the older lady, whatever. She said, I had Say My Name Out at the time by Destiny's Child. She goes, Rodney, I love this song you have out. I want to know if you would love to come to my house and work this week. And I was like, I didn't even know who she was. She was like, I'm working with Michael Jackson. I was like, where? She's like, Bel Air. I was like, I'm in Jersey, but I'm out. I'm going for real. I got on the plane and I stayed in a hotel until she called me. She called me on Thursday, 4 days later, and was like, can you come to the house today? I'm like, yeah, I came. I kid you not, man. I'm pulling up the driveway. I look to the left. I see Michael Jackson in the window with the red shirt.
Damn.
Staring out the window.
Wow. Just like the dream, bro. And I was like, nobody can't tell me God ain't real.
Have you ever told him that? Did you tell him that?
100%. I literally told. I'm like, he believes in stuff like that all
what
the
did
time.
He say? Wow,
he was like, that was how it was supposed to happen.
Is that how you said
That's
it? That's
how it's supposed to happen.
Wow.
Mike's voice is actually deeper than that.
I bet it is. I've been hearing that.
That's how it's supposed to. He a little deeper than that, right? But it was true. Like I just feel like God just went he showed me exactly how it was going to be, so I can have the story to be able to tell him one day how it was supposed to be.
I want to say envy is it's glossed over, not glazed over.
He definitely said.
Even though Michael Jackson deserves all the glazing because he's the greatest of all time, it's glossed over. Jesus Christ,
it's all right.
Crazy.
Now talk about MJ, working with MJ. How was that?
Amazing, but he worked me hard, bro. He's different. Like he would call 3-4 o'clock in the morning, be like, can I hear what you're working on over the phone? Wow. And I'd be like, I'm actually not working right now. I'm actually trying to take a nap because I've been up for 30 hours. No, well, can you go to the studio right now and play? Like, he's like that. So I get up and drive to the studio and play him. And Mike was so crazy with it that this was crazy. I would play him on the phone. He'd be like, can you turn the hi-hats down 3 dBs and make sure they're panned to the left? And I'd be like, really? He goes, yes. And I would be bugging, and the only thing I can think of, right, which is just crazy, right? Michael Jackson was taught by Barry Gordy,
Quincy
Jones, Teddy Riley. So that school, I'm a part of that school now.
Yeah.
But dude was incredible, bro. Like, and a great person. Like, we used to bet DVDs. We played pool together.
And bet DVDs.
Bet DVDs. I used to bet him. He beat me because I scratched. And we go shopping right here in Virgin Music Store in Times Square.
He would walk in there with you?
Bro, he put the disguise on. We went there. And I had to buy the DVDs. A lot of people don't know this. I took Michael to Rucker Park.
In disguise.
Watch basketball?
No one knows this. When we did Rock My World, Michael kept saying, we need to go to a club and test it out. And I was like, I got one better. I said, I'm going to take this spot called Record Park. And I didn't let him get out the car, but I just wanted him to feel the energy. So I went to Record Park and I played the record. And they was going crazy. They didn't know that Mike, the window was cracked the whole time.
Yeah.
They didn't know Mike was in the car.
Wow, that's crazy.
We're still kicking it with producer Rodney Jerkins. He has his artist John Keith with him as well. Charlamagne?
You know, you talk about Michael Jackson, you worked with him, you worked with Whitney, you worked with Brandy, Beyonce. What's something they all had in common in the studio that separated them from everybody else?
Tenacity. You're talking about artists that focused on making albums, which is another art form that we've lost a little bit, right? It wasn't about like just the single. It was about like how to make a great album. I feel like a lot of them sometimes got caught up in trying to compete with themselves, especially Michael.
Yeah.
Like he was overly trying to compete with himself.
You'll never beat Thriller.
How could you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he believed he would. If Michael was alive or was doing what he was doing in the streaming world, I believe he could have beat it.
Really?
Yeah. I believe he could have beat it.
But you know what's interesting with an album like Thriller or any artist? What are you trying to beat? Are you trying to beat your sales or are you just trying to be better musically? I would think you just would want to be better musically.
I don't think so. I think someone like Michael got obsessed with knowing the numbers that he did was so high that he wasn't competing against anyone else anymore. Musically, it wasn't a race with Prince anymore. It wasn't all. He's like, I already beat you. Now I'm trying to beat me, right? And he would say, I think there's a day where I could do 1 billion sales. That lets me know that he's racing for that. He's racing for a number.
Wow.
And he had to, because in his mind, he was like, how do you stay hungry? How do you stay, when you're the greatest, like, how do you get up for the fight? Like, you know, a lot of great fighters lose fights because they just can't get up for the fight anymore. Because they've done, that's why you gotta give props to someone like a Floyd Mayweather. You gotta be like, yo, this dude stay hungry, like, no matter what. He was super competitive. He was super competitive with me, meaning like he would challenge me and tell me like, yo, that producer over there, he's coming for you. He would tell me this, like, I'd be like, you crazy. If you think he got a chance to get on this project, you out of your mind. That's how we talk.
But he liked that.
Y'all ever hear the story about Jay-Z doing the Summer Jam, bringing Michael out?
Of course.
Which story?
That's because of me.
Yeah, we've heard stories. But
No. He brought Michael out at Summer Jam.
Yep.
That doesn't happen without me introducing him to Michael.
Break it down. Yeah,
Jay-Z, again, Jay-Z wants to meet Michael Jackson. So my man Big Chuck, Big John, all of them call me like, yo, can you introduce Jay to Mike? I'm like, yeah, I didn't even know Jay yet. I'm like, yeah, I got him. Bring him to the studio. That was the first time I seen Jay kind of in a very chill, like, yo, this is Michael Jackson. This is Michael Jackson. I introduced him to Michael. We had a great conversation. We talking. Next thing you know, a couple months later, he calls Michael to do Summer Jam. Mike does it. Even 50 Cent. It was just, I was introducing him to people that wanted to meet him and that he wanted to meet. Mike was a diehard 50 fan at the time. Like, no other rapper mattered to Michael.
They're 50.
50 and Biggie.
Can you imagine Michael Jackson wilding the What Up Gangsta?
Damn.
Yes.
Low key, yeah.
For what Rodney Jerkins saying, yes, I could imagine that.
I'm interested in, I was going to ask you about this, but I want to ask you about it. Now, I'm interested in your visions, right? Because you just told us the vision you had about Michael, and I heard the vision you had about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Has Michael or Whitney visited you in any of your
Whitney
visions?
used to sing at my dad's church in Pleasantville, New Jersey. A little church with 50 people in it. Called me up one day.
I think Charlamagne in a dream, but I love this story.
Dream, like in one of your visions, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Michael for sure. Michael for sure.
Anything you want to share? Or?
Not as much Whitney, but Michael for sure. Just lied. It'd just be like, I'm back in the lab with Michael, creating. And the crazy thing is when I've had that dream, which has happened a few times, it was something like musically incredible. And when I got up, I couldn't remember what I was creating. But in the dream, it was like, whoa. It didn't sound like anything from here.
Yeah.
Now, you was talking about Whitney coming to your dad's church.
Yeah, like, so me and Whitney bonded. When I worked with her, spiritually we bonded. And one day she just called me out the blue and she was just like, hey, what you doing, dark child? early Sunday morning. I was like, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. What you mean, what am I doing? She goes, I want to go to church today. And I was like, okay. And she's like, no, I want to go to your church. And I was like, my church is like 2.5 hours from Mendham, New Jersey. She was like, I'm on my way. And and she pulled up to church. It was like she pulled up and she sang. She whispered in my ear. She was like, "Tell your daddy I want to sing."
Wow. What year was this?
This is like 1998 or 9.
Wow.
And crazy, she sang, killed it. But here, 3 months before she passed away, she called me up. I ain't talked to her in like probably 5 years. Mm-hmm. She called me, said, "I need to see you." I said, "What's up?" She goes, "We need to pray together." She's like, "Where you at?" I said, I'm at my studio in Hollywood. She goes, "I'm on my way." Mm. She came all the way down from Newport Beach, wherever she was living at the time, literally came in the studio, and next thing you know, it turned into like a church service in the studio, just 3 months before she passed away. Wow. So we've always had that, like, some of that type of connection.
You know, we always hear the conspiracy theories, like, you know, they be like, "Oh, Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC." Yeah. Michael's the only person I believe they really tried to railroad like that because of what he did with the publishing in the music industry.
He talked about it all the time. He talked about it all the time. One thing I will say is that in the studio, he would always talk about how he lived in a certain fear. And I used to always try to reel him in a direction like, yo, you only supposed to fear God. Man shouldn't have you feeling like that. No man should have you living in that space. But he lived in that space a lot because he felt like he had something that was so valuable, which he did. He had something so valuable that people wanted.
He owned like half of Sony ATV's publishing, right?
Yeah, I think what people have confused, I'm glad you said it that way, because I think people have confused the narrative. People for so long have said, Michael owned the Beatles catalog.
I heard that.
No, Michael owned Sony ATV.
That's right.
Which is Babyface, Mariah, the Beatles.
Beyonce.
Probably some of my catalog was in there.
Isn't that like half the music industry?
Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, you got three giants, right? At the time, you had three giants, and Sony was pretty much the biggest out the three at that time. And they did a deal with him that, you know, forever he felt that they wanted back.
And you think they threw all those cases at Michael because they wanted it back?
I think it could have had something to do with it. I'm not going to say exactly that, but it could have had something to do with it. But I believe none of it because I was around Mike all the time and I knew the kind of person he was. So I'm like, they really trying to kill his character.
Yeah, I don't believe
And
it.
he would say it, like, he'd be like, they just can't stand that I'm the greatest. He would literally say that. He would literally say that. They just can't stand that I'm the greatest.
How was his mind frame during that time? Did he feel like the culture, especially black people, supported him and loved him, or did he feel like the world was turning against him?
Now, I would say we started to surround him with that. Like, if you look, there was a period where I think he didn't feel that. And I felt like he was like, I need this, right? So there were certain people that he started to reach out to put their arms around him, and he started to feel that. That's why he would do a summer jam with Jay-Z. It was really like he knew, like, I need people to have my back in this. And then certain people did wrap their arms around him.
Yeah.
And as things progressed, the one thing I can tell you about Michael that I started to learn was his family was strong. Like, his family, like, when they got together and wore all that white, they were wearing those white, going into court each day, you saw that unity in a different type of light. You're like, oh, yo, these Jacksons, they're not playing around with this. They unified. And I think that helped him, even though he was, like, probably going through it mentally weak and all of that. And it's tough when you know you pretty much own something that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Damn.
Man, so after all that, John Keefe, what you got going on over there?
That's crazy.
I ain't even ready to get to you yet. But go ahead. We gonna get to you, but you know you gotta sit here and listen. We ain't never interviewed.
I prefer that. I don't want to go after Michael. That's crazy.
I got you.
We're still kicking it with Rodney Jerkins and his artist John Keefe. Charlamagne?
Did you see Beyonce becoming the Beyonce we now know back then?
Yeah, 100%. From the first session. Say My Name was our first session. And then, you know, we worked together again. And when I got to Deja Vu with her and Jay, that's when I really knew. I saw the difference, right? Because in the group format, she still was in the group. If you really look at Destiny Child as a group, they never really showed her as the leader. You know how you hear certain groups and you know, like, that's the leader? No, they was kind of trying to position them somewhat like a Boys and Men where they all could do their thing. But we saw the leadership qualities when we worked with her, right? But when I got to Deja Vu, bro, I remember playing her the demo to Deja Vu for the first time. when the song went off, she was already telling me her visual for the visuals.
Wow.
So she was like, this is how I see it. I'm going to put Jay on it. Like she was telling, I was like, nah, she reminded me so much of Michael was scary. Like at that time, I was like, yo, she just came into her own like Mike. Like she's now, I could just see the elevation of that. You know what I mean? Like really quickly.
Besides Whitney and Michael Jackson, who is one of your best artists to work with? Like the timing, the fact that they're there all the time, they're going to grind it out, they're amazing vocalists. Who is that next person, of course, besides Beyonce?
Probably Brandy, I would think.
Why that's my girl.
Yeah, like
take us into a session with Brandy.
Yeah.
Well, with Brandy, it was the regiment that she had that was interesting, right? Especially when I was doing Never Say Never, but Full Moon especially. Like she was playing tennis with Serena Williams before the session every day, right? Which was interesting.
That was crazy. Yeah, so many stories, guys.
Yeah, she was practicing with Serena every day, and she would come in the studio. Shout out to my man Paris Davis because he was the A&R, like a real A&R cat, right? Mm-hmm. And he had her. He was the one that said you need to be playing tennis. So he had her playing tennis early in the morning. Come in the studio. John can tell you as an artist nowadays, artists can do a song in one day. They done. They in and out. A few hours, it's done. We was doing songs. It was taking us 3-4 days. We really working on backgrounds just on one day. I remember times when a lot of artists would actually be like, yo, Rodney, please let me, I'm tired. I'm like, we ain't done. Like, it's not right yet. Until we get this thing right, we not done. Brandy was one of those artists that would go the full length and not complain about it. Mike would even sometimes complain like, Rodney, I'm getting hoarse. Like his vocal coach would call me, Seth Reeves would call me like, you're working them too hard, Rodney, you're working too hard. And I'm like, yo, we're working on music, working on a song, bro. Like, that's what we do.
How does that affect you now with these new artists, right? Because they're not staying in the studio that long, hour or two. So how do you still have that same conversation with a new artist and say, nah, I need you to come back. I need you to stay longer. It's not happening.
And then, like you said, you used to be like, look, we're not done. So, and your artists stay there because they know the work and dedication is going to make for great music.
Yeah.
You tell one of these, new artists that
they don't even know what 8 to 10 hour, 12 hour. There was times, me personally, I stay in the studio. People know like I wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
I'd be there 2-3 days straight. People like after 3-4 hours, they kind of like, yo, it's time to go.
So the music is worse.
I don't know when that shift happened exactly. I think like maybe hip hop caused it. You know what I mean? Or maybe when we hear stories of like when Lil Wayne says, yo, I'm working on this album from the hotel, it may have created a narrative like, yo, I don't need to go in the studio in the booth anymore. I could just do like he did a record right out of his car that's fire. Like they, maybe that's what happened. Like something had to shift. Technology.
So if a young producer came to you right now and they was like, yo, how do I create my own brand? How do I create my own Beyonce in this era? Is there a blueprint for that?
Didn't Jay-Z say like if you make a hole, make another hole?
Yeah.
There's no blueprint, right? You just got to work hard and put the effort. If that's something that you really want to try to do, I just think again it goes back to you got to study the craft, right? And go hard and see what you can come up with, and be patient, because I think the thing is everybody wants the quick thing right now. Tomorrow we got to be this tomorrow. Nah, like some stuff takes 2, 3, 4 years. You got to be patient,
Did you feel disrespected when you heard Jess Hilarious' rendition of The Boy Is Mine?
No.
The Job Is Mine?
Nah.
Jess and Loren.
Jess and Loren, when they did the rendition of The Job Is Mine.
Nah.
I was messing with
I thought it was hilarious. No problem, but I thought it was hilarious. Yeah.
Thank you.
We need a little more auto-tune. Auto-tune was set wrong. Next time, call the producer. I'll get you straight. I'll get you straight next time.
All right.
What was the one record that you were surprised took off the way that it was?
It might have been that one.
The Boy Is Mine.
Yeah, because we were going through this battle when I was doing the Never Say Never project. You understand? I was a kid, bro.
Yeah.
So there was some people that didn't believe that I should do the whole album, executive produce the whole album. I'm in there and I'm like, and I'm young, but I'm super confident. Like, y'all are tripping. Like, this is fire. And they was telling me, this is crazy. They were telling me at the end of the project, they were like, so yeah, we got to go fly down to Atlanta to work with JD to get a single. We got to go, then we're going to do Wyclef to get a single. And I was like, in the studio, you kind of feel disrespected, especially when you've done like 9 songs. So you trying to tell me we just did 9 songs and you telling me I don't got the first single? And this is my body of work that I'm putting my energy, and I don't got the first single? I swear on everything I love, I packed my bags up and went home from LA. I went back to Jersey, and I said, y'all figure it out.
Damn.
And then they called back and was like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all a trip. We got singles left and right. Just put them things out.
What was the 9 you recorded already? What was some of the ones you recorded already?
Top of the World with Mace.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The Boy's Mine, which
wow.
was early on in the project. Wow. I mean, we had Angel in the Sky. I did pretty much everything.
How did The Boy's Mine? Was that your idea, and how did that come about? How did you get them both together?
The Boy's Mine. It's funny. I was just again at my dad's house, and I was like playing this harp sound, and I was like, nobody used a harp sound in urban music when they used it one way. Chucky Thompson and different producers like Dave Hall back in the day, and the Untouchables, they used the harp sound like. It's called gliss, like it would come down like a gliss. I heard it and I liked the sound of it. I was like, what if I made it like rhythmic? And I broke it into rhythm. So I just started doing it, and my dad came down with a little tape recorder. He used to always have a little tape recorder. He'd be like, that's incredible. You gotta lay that. And then I laid it down. And Paris Davis, Brandy's A&R, he heard, and we did it on, we recorded it on Brandy, and he was like, yo, what if we put Monica on this? And at that time, Monica and Brandy, they kind of didn't like each other. Right. It was definitely a feud between the two. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's never going to happen. Knowing Brandy and knowing how that's never going to happen. He's like, nah, I think it can happen. Like, if I get you on the phone with Dallas Austin and I was like, all right. And then next thing you know, it started to shape. And even when it came out, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I wasn't surprised that it was going to do well. I didn't know it was going to stay number one for that long. It's like 13, 14 weeks number one. Like, we did 16 million albums sold on that project. Damn. Wow. So, like, those type of things for my second album was I did Gina Thomas, but my second album that I produced, executive producer, to do those numbers was kind of crazy.
You know, it's crazy back then, right? Like, nowadays, people manufacture the drama, then try to do the music. With that record, it was the song, the music, and then people started speculating about the drama after the fact. Like, is there really a boy that they arguing over? We know that they got beef with each other. So and plus the video.
I mean, the fact, you think about them doing a tour, right? They about to do a tour together.
Yeah.
You're talking about, like, this, why did they do a tour together 15 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, but, it's time for everything, I get it. But, like, dang, like, man, imagine them doing the tour together 15 years. That would have been crazy.
It would have been like baddies.
Baddies. But this going to be crazy, though.
They didn't get along.
We're still kicking it with producer Rodney Jerkins. He has his artist John Keith with him as well. Charlamagne?
Was there ever an artist you worked with who completely surprised you in the booth? Like somebody whose talent just hit different when they got on the mic?
I think SZA's underestimated. Mm-hmm. Like I think sometimes like artists will vocalize based on what's hot, on what's going on, when there's so much more there. They just not giving it because they don't have to. Right? I think there's a lot more there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times when I work with SZA, a lot of times I actually would get some Brandy out of it. I'd be like, it's kind of give me like Brandy, look like some of the stuff she done, like some Brandy might have would have done. But then
like her runs.
Yeah, it's just certain little things, just little nuances that I'm like, oh, that's something. But I don't know that she fully even yet knows that she can even go somewhere else.
Right. I think SZA's one of those people that the more she does the work personally, like to improve her mental and emotional well-being, it's going to translate to the music.
And the question is, like, well, at least for me, this is what I believe. I just believe that don't happen unless you find God. And I'm not saying she don't know God or had an experience with God, so don't get that part twisted. But I believe, like, in order for us to mentally be at our best state is when we know God. Right? Because the Bible says that he's not the author of confusion. So, and you got to have a sober mind, right? Your mind got to be on point, and that only comes from a real understanding, a real relationship. I think people have twisted the narrative too much of religious. Oh, that's religion. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
It's relationship. Like, what's your relationship like? I have a great relationship with my 4 kids, right? I got 2 boys, 2 girls. I have a great relationship. I'm their father. I have a father, a heavenly father. I have a great relationship with. It ain't religious. It's just like I know how to talk to him, and I hear him speak to me. As simple as that. So I feel like when you have that relationship, it creates clear path for the things that you create and the things that you want to do.
Can you work with an artist if you don't see God in them?
Right now, it's different for me. there was a time where like I would have been straddling that fence over and over again because I didn't look at it for what it was. And I think over the last 2 years, there's been a new birth that happened. Like, I get it now. When Jesus told Nicodemus, he said, you got to be born again. I get it now. Like, and even Nicodemus like, what, born again? What you mean by that? What you mean? Like, out the womb born? Like, how does that happen? No, like, born again in your spirit. Like, you have to be born again. And so there's a lot of times people will call me all the time. Yo, I could show you, I just got a call to get in the studio with an artist. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. Why? It's not where I'm at.
Don't align with
now, what I can do and what I will continue to do is speak what I believe is true. So I had an artist one time, I had someone call me recently about an artist coming to my studio. And I said, when they leave, if I do a record with them, it might not be the record they expect to do. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, like it's real over here. And I said, they said, well, how real is that? I said, well, every 2 weeks we do a thing called Worship Alive at my studio, where we have kind of church in the studio. And you experienced it. And they're like, you do that? I'm like, yeah. Like it's really real. Like I want to see people changed. And you can't see people change unless you change. And I'm a work in progress. We all are. We all are, right? We all are work in progress. We sin daily. So, but I believe that there's hope for people. I believe I want to see people's relationships form with their Father, with their Creator.
So are you a faith artist? Because I know the Aliens Alive is a faith label.
Yeah, so I'm a Christian artist. I mean, I was raised in the church. You know what I'm saying? My father he's a pastor now, but that's kind of new. But he's always been in some kind of leadership in the church. But even like for me, like I got no hobbies. I do music and I'm a Bible nerd. That's it. I don't do sports. I don't do video games. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, proudly a Christian artist.
What did you see in John that said I want to work with him?
I think he wanted to kill himself. When you get to a vulnerable state in your music, sometimes it goes over people's heads. And when I heard some of the things that he was saying, I was like, whoa, like he's special. Like this dude right here is special. He just needs the right team with him. And he keeps getting better. He's not just a rapper, a singer, like musician, does all his music, produces everything, the whole nine, like he's a beast. But I heard his heart in his music. And I heard something that could penetrate the youth differently. My man John Keith, June 27 got his project coming out, and I'm super excited about his project.
We're gonna get a song on too this morning.
I've been listening to a lot of faith-based artists. You know Miles Minnick?
Yeah, they got a whole album together with him.
What? Nice. Yeah, to my guy DJ Head, he put me on the Miles a while ago. And I'm like, and the funny thing, he didn't even tell me that Miles was a faith-based artist.
Yeah.
He just said, yo, listen to this.
Yeah, Head is a big advocate of just, you know what I'm saying, putting it in front. Because, people got there's a stigma about Christian artists, you know what I'm saying, that they're a certain way, that they got to sound a certain way. And so, like, when you hear people that sound like Miles or sound like me or sound like Indie Tribe or No Big Deal, whatever, you know what I'm saying, like, they're like, oh, wait, hold up, this is Christian? And it's like, it's art, bro.
Everything you hear from our label, you're like, dang, I didn't know it was like that.
Because the thing is, it's like, those of us who do it well are not on a mission to make a genre of Christian music. We're just making music and we're Christians. So we're not going to rap or sing about stuff that's not our life. You know what I'm saying? So like, but that's also why, like, what he said, like, in my music, I'm gonna tell you, like, yeah, I was struggling with, the thought to take my life since I was 11 years old. I'm gonna talk about that, and it's not gonna be that happy rainbows and sunshine, you know what I'm saying? When you get life with Jesus, everything is just good. And it's like, nah, like, let's talk about real life, because people live real life, and they don't understand what life with Jesus is like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we fall in love, you know what I'm saying, we get angry, you know what I'm saying, like, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, if you making music that's Christian music and it's only worship, then it's like, Well, if I'm, you know what I'm saying, if I want to listen to love songs, then I gotta go listen to the wildness that's out there right now. You know what I'm saying, debauchery or whatever, because ain't no love songs that like can still be about, you know what I'm saying, a person loving another person, but from a point of view of someone who understands that these things are echoes of God, you know. And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying, that's me. But yeah, I mean, me and Miles just did something, and then yeah.
Well, let's play a record, man. What you want to hear?
From me? Yeah, man. Oh, man. I don't know what that's out.
Play the record that's on the chart.
All right, okay.
That's the radio side.
We can do club.
It's a song with him and Miles Minnick from the West Indies project called Club.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it now, but now we got to close out with a prayer, brother.
Man, hey, what's up, God? No, I'm playing. Father, we thank you for this time. Just being able to sit down and talk about things that concern you, because it all concerns you, Father. So we just thank you for that. We thank you for open hearts. Just ask that you would plant any seeds that you wanted to plant during this conversation, and that you would just be present with us the rest of the day. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Rodney Jerkins, the legend, man. Congratulations again, Songwriters Hall of Fame.
John Keith,
Yes,
Rodney
sir.
Jerkins.
Thank you.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
This is a miracle.
There is no question that there are problems in this country between police and community.
Yes, you are a donkey.
The latest on that police killing of a black man.
Now to new developments in the deadly spa shooting rampage.
And yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Donkey of the day for Thursday, June 12th. Lil Duval's born day. Dropping a clues bomb for Lil Duval. Yes. But we are not living our best lives right now, okay? Because Donkey of the day is going to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Or maybe Donkey of the Day should go to corporate media. Or maybe Donkey of the Day should go to we the people for being so preoccupied with things that have zero impact on our lives that we don't pay attention to all the grave dangers that are right under our noses, okay? If ignorance is bliss, I don't know why everybody isn't more happy, because I strive to be optimistic. I grew up on the sounds of blackness, baby. As long as you keep your head to the sky. But we also got to be realistic about the things that are going on in the world. And yesterday, while you were busy watching AI videos of gorillas hosting podcasts talking about fighting 100 men, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, was releasing a video warning us of nuclear annihilation. I'm not making any of this up. Let's listen.
As we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. So it's up to us, the people, to speak up and demand an end to this madness.
What?
We must reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust.
Huh? Am I the only person that finds this unusual? Am I the only person who saw this video and first had to determine if it was AI or not? But then once I realized it wasn't, it's real, it came from her Twitter account, and all the so-called reputable news sources, the ABC News and MSNBC, Bloomberg, Political, NBC News, everybody was posting about it. But after I watched it, I was left sitting there scratching my head wondering, why was that just released on Twitter? Tulsi, you can't just post that like it's a regular reel and walk away. This is how my algorithm is set up, okay? I got a video of a black man sitting in the car with the caption, in the 90s, they had us thinking Lil' Kim was the biggest freaking bad boy. Whole time it was Diddy. Right? Then another video of Kai Cenat trying to help Drewski holler at Keke Palmer. Then a post from Tyler Perry saying he made more black millionaires than any other studio in Hollywood from the BET Awards. Then a video of Pastor Torrey Roberts working out in the gym. Then a video of Loren LoRosa walking around in just stockings and a Steve Harvey blazer. Then boom! Tulsi telling us we all gonna die. I understand social media is the new way to communicate, but dear government officials, some messages got to be packaged a different way. You can't drop this on the timeline and just walk off, Tulsi. Okay, you are the Director of National Intelligence. You know things that we don't know. We have watched all these billionaires, from Mark Zuckerberg to Bill Gates to Larry Ellison, all build these underground bunkers. Okay, I've been reading about them for years, building these luxurious underground bunkers, and they're doing it as a form of apocalyptic insurance. And here you got Tulsi put a 3-minute and 31-second video on Twitter. I only played y'all about 51 seconds, but the video is like 3:30, and she's telling us that political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. I didn't even know what the definition of fomenting was. I had to look it up, okay? Tulsi, why are you using big words at a time like this? And for those who want to know, fomenting means instigating, stirring things up. Tulsi, just say that, okay? Political elite and warmongers are instigating and stirring things up, and they don't care because they have access to nuclear shelters for themselves and for their families, okay? Tulsi, I know I'm stupid, okay? I tell y'all all the time, I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, nor am I the strongest Avenger. But correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't you the political elite? You are the director of national intelligence, okay? The principal advisor to the president, the principal advisor to the National Security Council and Homeland Security. So you should be telling all the other political elite people, you should be telling them and all the warmongers to stop. Stop instigating whatever has us on the brink of nuclear annihilation. Play the clip again, Red. Please play it again one time for me.
As we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. So it's up to us, the people, to speak up and demand an end to this madness. We must reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust.
Tulsi. You're the director of national intelligence. The reason I'm giving you donkey of the day is because what are we the people supposed to do with this information? Okay, see, this is what I be talking about. Government officials have one job when it comes to the American people. Put money in our pocket and make us feel safe. We are supposed to be out here living our best life while y'all handle stuff like threats of nuclear war. But yet we got the director of national intelligence telling us that we need to speak up and demand an end to this madness. Tulsi, nuclear war is too serious for a tweet and a call to action, okay? A video on X and a call to action for we the people to just say stop? That's all it takes is for us to reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust? Well, Tulsi, I can assure you, none of us want that, okay? We don't have to reject it. We never wanted it to be an option in the first place, but I guess, now it is. And you want us to fix it? Please give Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, the biggest hee-haw. Tulsi, I need you on somebody's TV network this morning. Okay, you have to explain this. Tell us what you know. Okay, if someone is planning to let a nuke fly, it is your job to tell the world. Don't give us half the information. Tell us what's going on, damn it. Okay, give us time to repent for our sins. Okay, people want to get baptized. Give me time to make peace with some people. Okay, LoRosa got to get the pants for the rest of the outfit she wore at the BET Awards.
Oh, my God.
Okay? You can't just walk up to me, Tulsi, and say, you're going to die, and walk away. No, excuse me, ma'am. I got some questions.
She said all we have to say is stop. We just stop.
What the hell does LoRosa not having on no pants
That's all you
at
caught?
the BET Awards have to do with this?
See, that's the problem. That's all she caught. See, she didn't catch the nuke. She didn't catch the dive. She didn't catch the stop. She didn't catch the it's over.
I did.
All she caught was LoRosa didn't have any pants on at the BET Awards.
No. He's supposed to be, this is a teachable moment. You're supposed to be teaching us that it was a public service announcement, a big
This is a teachable moment.
Announcement, right?
The teachable
and
moment
you can
is
still think about Loren not having on no damn pants.
Well, listen.
And we just got threatened with nukes.
Well, okay. We don't need a nuke, but we do need a missile to hit her closet. That's it.
Tell you know what? I'm not talking.
So she can have nothing else?
Well, she can start anew.
Crazy.
Start anew.
Oh my
Shout out
goodness.
to Romeo Hunt. I cannot.
Who that is?
That is the designer that she wears all the time. The black-owned designer.
Salute to
Very
him.
much given.
Shut up. All right. Thank you for that dunk of the day.
He built the roof. He didn't give her a foundation. And you can't build a house with just the roof. You got to start with the foundation first.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Romeo, next time, foundation, pants, then the roof.
Oh,
top,
my God.
Boom.
Oh, my
Everybody
goodness.
wins.
All right. Salute to LoRosa. Now, Charlamagne, thank you for that dunk of the day. Up next, Jess Fix My Mess. 800-585-1051. If you have relationship issues or problems, Jess will help you. Call her up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Made it.
It's the real deal. Help me. Help me.
Oh my God. I'm all up in your mess. I'ma fix it. Fix it.
Fix my mess.
Fix it. Fix it. Just gonna fix your mess, because my advice is real.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. It's time for Jess Fix My Mess. Hello. Put your phone on. Take it off Bluetooth and speaker, please.
Sure.
What's your question for Jess, Mama?
Hi, how are you? This is Tiffany.
Hi. What's wrong, girl?
Hi. So I have a boyfriend that I've been dating for about 2 years, and I feel like he's insecure. He calls me in the morning when I wake up, asking me, am I getting ready for work? I'm like, I'm getting ready. On our way to work, he wanted to talk to me. During work, he's calling me. He's telling me to call me when you get off of work. Okay, I'll call him. I'm off. He's like, call me when you get home. I made it home. Call me before you go to bed. I'm like, I don't have to talk to you 10 times out the day.
Now, are y'all long distance? Why y'all don't see each other?
No, we do see each other. This is what I'm saying. I see him, and I'm like, do we have to talk this much?
No, listen, I understand both ways. That I understand him, because look, it's like you my girl. I want to know what you doing. Yeah. Every move, it may sound a little creepish, but it's like, yeah, you the person. If we don't live together, I want to keep that line of communication open. He just may be really in love with his girl, and I understand your side too. It's like, God damn, I eat, sleep, breathe you. Like, it's like, give me. I still have to have a life myself, right?
Absolutely.
And I don't want everything to be my boyfriend, my man. Have you talked to him about this though? Like, have you said, like, babe, I feel like it should be a compromise. Like, yo, all right, maybe not the whole day, but I'll call you when I wake up in the morning, and I'll call you when I get off of work, and then we can talk at night before I go to bed. Like, are you laying that down like that?
But I say that all the time. He gets offended. Like, he be in his feelings. Like, oh, really? Like, you don't want to talk? I'm like, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. Like, I'm listening to the Breakfast Club in the morning. Stop calling me while I'm on my way to work. It's my little peace time.
Yeah,
like,
I do think it is something that may have happened to him before in one of his previous relationships where, you know what I mean? It wasn't, his communication wasn't always like that. He may not have had access to one of his exes, and Shorty was doing something, messing around or something like that. He don't want that to be the case here, but you can't pay for that. So I don't know. You can't keep on talking to him all day, every day. You either gonna have to leave this man alone, or you gonna really have to put those boundaries in place. Like, yo, I'm not talking to you all day. It's just not gonna happen like that for me. Because then he's gonna run you away, right. And then you're gonna start like.
But that's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening.
Well, leave. I'm sorry. Leave.
Is that a problem though, that she don't want to talk to her man like that?
That's not a problem, and the reason why it's not a problem is because you still have to have a life for yourself. That's how I am. When Chris is on the road, we don't have to talk all day.
Well, he might call you in the morning and say good morning.
Yes.
He might call you and say what you doing today.
Right. When we first got together, yes, we were on the phone every day, all day. You know, and then it get lonely in that truck. They be wanting to drive. I mean, you wanting to talk to somebody while they drive, and it passes time, but you still need to be like a little independent, because it's going to come a time where I can't talk to you every day. You know what I mean? Like, nah.
Right.
And then what you gonna do? You gonna think I'm automatically doing something because we broke this pattern that's now a daily routine? Like, no, he has to be able to not talk to you.
Right. And I'm trying to get him to understand that. Like, we can have a healthy relationship without talking all day, every day.
Every day. Are you a loyal person though? Like, are you loyal?
Yeah, I'm not cheating or anything. I'm faithful to him. It's just like sometimes I just need my me time, and that's how I'm designed. Like,
and if he can't. And if he can't respect that, then he ain't the one for you. I'm serious. If he can't get out of his own way, or you know what I mean, like he just not the one for you. That's it. You just gotta protect your peace. You gotta have peace. Don't need to live with you when he doing that. Like,
Jess is absolutely right. My wife will tell me when she need me time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even have to say it. If you've been together long enough,
you'll know what you're thinking. You'll know.
That's right.
So yeah, no, that's not healthy, boo.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good luck, mama.
Salute to all the women out there dating truck drivers that let their truck driving husbands have me time, man. The lot lizards appreciate you.
Who are you talking about? Because that's not even what's happening over there. Ain't no lot lizards up in Chris' truck. No, it ain't none of that.
I wasn't talking about that.
And her man is not even a truck driver.
Yeah, I was just shouting out truck drivers. It was just random. It had nothing to do with nothing.
Hello, who's this?
Hello, this is the Carry-On
What's up, brother? What's your question for Jess?
What's up?
Hello, I was calling because my girlfriend, she really just don't support my music career. She telling me to choose the music or her.
She telling you to choose the music or her?
Yeah.
How long you been doing music?
I've been doing music for about 5 years now.
5 years. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Detroit.
Spit something.
Oh boy.
Spit something.
Yeah, I don't want nothing too long.
You know, they call me Lil D Bang 'em. I take him and I hang him. I really don't like black. That's why I take him and I hang him. She said I'm going crazy like Kanye. That's because I got girls from the West that do what I say.
Okay.
Just a little
All right. And that was free. You freestyled that? You ain't write that?
Yeah.
That was off the brain. Okay.
Nah, that was a freestyle.
His girl must be ugly as shit.
Why you say that?
He choosing these whack-ass raps over his girl?
Oh, no, that was just a freestyle. No.
Right.
I'm sure you sound better than that.
What's some of your written stuff?
Yeah, y'all put me on the spot.
I know, that's fine, and you delivered those 3 bars. Well, basically,
Just mess with him. Just no real music for real.
All right, listen. This is what's happening.
Just high.
No, I'm not. I'm not high. This is what's happening, right? You ain't going nowhere with it.
Damn.
She probably like, yo, look.
She be choosing Lil Durk over me. She like, can you please turn this off? I just want to hear Lil Durk.
I don't blame her.
Right, because we know Durk, and Durk pen is crazy too. I mean, you know, we like to listen to Durk. That's the thing.
But I told you better choose up or lose up. Because in a minute, they going to know who Lil D Bang 'em is.
Well, maybe you got to leave her to pursue your career. And then and you got to make her a believer too. But the only way to do that is leave her alone and go and pursue the music, or you leave the music alone and pursue your girl. Because both, it don't work. Because see, that's probably why you haven't really blown yet. Because you know.
Trash.
Yeah. But also, you're battling. You probably wouldn't be trash if you gave all your attention to your music.
You hear this man? I think this man y'all. I'm being honest.
What happened? What he saying?
Listen to what he's saying. What's your girl Instagram?
You said what?
What's your girl Instagram? I really got to see her.
Hey, Charlamagne, you can't take my ball.
Huh?
You can't take my ball. He a rapper. That's how they talk.
What?
You can't take my ball. Like that's
I
my
don't
girl.
want your
Like,
ball.
I'm in the game.
Take my ball.
I don't want your ball, bro.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, give it up, bro.
Yeah, you need to pick up a ball. Rapping is not it. So get in the sports. Go and do something.
I'm only 5'6", man. I can't hoop.
All right.
Go learn a trade, man.
Yeah, something. You got to do something if you want your girl. Do you want your girl or do you want the music? Like, you got to ask yourself that and proceed accordingly.
I really want both. I mean, Jay-Z got Beyonce and Lil Durk got India. I figured it would work.
You can hang
The
out.
hood need more welders, man. You gotta
hear
killing welders.
HVAC, automotive, electrical.
Engineers.
There's
We
a lot
need
of things our
healthcare.
communities need. We
You
don't
gotta
need
hear
it
my
right.
song. That was just a freestyle.
I can bang on him?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, bro.
Imagine rapping like that, then wondering why your girl wants you to choose either her or the music.
It's like, what? You're not even good. Damn, and then he freestyle.
And then you gotta be so mad when he say, "I can't give this up for you, baby." What?
Damn.
You know the young boy be like, "Look, a little fine. She must be a little ugly."
All right. When we come back, we got the latest with Loren. Don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fast.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Lauren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Okay, guys. So yesterday I got a tip from Michelle. Shout out to AT Alien, a blogger out of Atlanta, that Portia Williams won in divorce court. A judge ruled to enforce her prenup with her ex, Simon Wobadia. Yes. Now, that is a huge deal because they've been going back and forth over several things, including the home that she currently lives in, the car, the Rolls Royce. So I reached out to another source close to the court to figure out, okay, if she won and the judge is going to enforce the prenup, what does that mean and what does she get? So I'm told that Portia will get alimony, which will be $40,000 per month for about 14 to 15 months. All her legal fees will be paid. She'll receive the Rolls Royce that he brought. All her attorney fees will be covered. I said that already. And the home, right? The house has been in question. Now, there's a little bit of the clauses with the home. So there's one or two things that can happen. So Portia has from 2024, which is when they ended, to 2027 to decide whether she's going to stay in the home. And it's a $7 million home. And in order to stay in the home, she's going to have to refinance to basically buy Simon out of his portion because he does get 50% of the equity in the home. Or she can sell the home. Now, the issue with the home and why it's been such a big conversation, from what I'm told, is that it was a premarital property. So he actually bought the home with his own money, Simon, for what I'm told, before they entered into the marriage. But at this point, she has these 3 years to figure out what she wants to do and stay in the home while she figures it out. And while she's in the home, he also, Simon is responsible to cover all of the expenses. So mortgage, any expenses that come.
Is the house paid off? Is it paid in full or no?
No,
it's a mortgage.
It's not paid in full. So he has to cover all of the expenses while she is there. And I'm also told that Simon is exploring the options of an appeal. He has 30 days to file this with the court.
Now, if Simon does none of that, what could happen to him? Because he can't come back to the country. It's not like they can bring him back and arrest him, right?
What do you mean by does none of that?
So if he says, you know what, I'm already, you already deported me. I'm in Africa or I'm in Dubai. I ain't gonna do nothing of that. Because you can't arrest him.
Oh, you mean like he's not going to appeal for the home?
No, meaning if he doesn't pay the mortgage, if he doesn't want to give none of that stuff that he's supposed to be paying, he just says, you know what, I'm out.
I mean, he still legally would have to go through whatever the consequences for that is. And also, too, he still has his defamation lawsuit on the other side with Portia. So he's still, I mean, he ain't hiding. Like, he's still actively going through things and he plans to appeal. So he ain't about to hide. So he'll just have to deal with the consequences.
All I know is Simon would give all that up to have American citizenship and that ice cream sandwich we call Capital P back. Okay, salute to Portia Williams, a.k.a. Young Honey Bun. That's what we call him.
Baby,
all right?
Capital P cleaned up, okay?
Mr. Goldbody had probably bit off more than he could chew and was probably like,
yeah,
thank
that's
you,
a
God.
big bite.
I am going home.
P?
Yes, I am going back home.
Yes.
I'm going back home.
Yes. And I'm told, because I asked them, like, what was their vibe in court? I'm told they didn't even speak to each other directly. They just let their counsel speak through each other, and they could have if they wanted to. And they were in court all day, 9:30.
Were they on Zoom or something?
They were on Zoom, yes. They were on Zoom, but they could have done a breakout room on Zoom if they wanted to have a conversation. They didn't, though. 9:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. and Simon walked away pissed.
Damn.
Sure. Well, what time was it in Africa?
I don't know. It was time for him to get ready to pay that $40,000 a month. That's what time it was.
Damn.
So in other news, speaking of Jeesh, Dame Dash, a judge has ordered Dame Dash to hand over full ownership of several of his companies and film copyrights to pay off a debt from a lawsuit.
No. Damn, yo.
Yes. So shout out to allhiphop.com and Grouchy Greg who broke this story. So y'all remember we were talking about like the money that Dame Dash owed. There was a ton of different things. Yes. Child support. There was like a lawsuit between him and a filmmaker named Josh Weber. So the taxes and all that stuff. Remember they did the auction and they were trying to figure out how they want to pay each other. So a part of that was this filmmaker's lawsuit, and the auction went down. Dame Dash lost his 1/3 stake in Rockefeller, but this filmmaker was not paid. There wasn't enough money to cover the debt that Dame Dash allegedly owes to him, right? So there's a little over $800,000 that is due, and a judge is basically saying that Dame has to give up several companies, including Dash Films, and copyrights to several movies, including Honor Up and Too Honorable, in order to get this paid.
What about the network, the American New Network?
That is not listed on here. It is Dash Films, Blue Rock LLC, Black Rock LLC, Interest in Lebanon LLC, Oceans East Improvements LLC, and 1996 Songs. So unless that network is under one of these companies, but that wasn't specifically named in the document.
What was that $8 million number I saw floating around? It was any
800,000.
Oh, I saw that too, but I thought I saw something else.
But that's from, remember there was a huge amount of money he owed because of child support because of this lawsuit. Like there,
and taxes too, right?
Yes, that was all combined. Remember, but they tried to sell it off in the auction, but it was like first come first, not first come first. They had to figure out the picking order of who was going to be paid what. This filmmaker was not paid from that because there wasn't enough money to go around. So now they're asking for these companies, they're asking for the rights to these movies, and what they're going to do, the government is going to do is they're going to do another auction, and they're trying to pay this man from this film with this auction. And whatever's left over will go back to Dame Dash. Now, Dame Dash has until June 16th to make the auction not happen by filing an objection. Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, I seen
June 16th. You got until Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. I seen everybody laughing, and I would say this: you don't laugh.
Don't
you
laugh, learn.
Don't laugh, learn. Right. And I told you guys years ago, Charlamagne and myself said a long time ago, entrepreneurship is amazing, right?
But it's hard.
But having a job is not a bad thing. Stability ain't a weakness. It could be a strategy. So don't think if you have a job, you can't be an entrepreneur as well. You can do both. Like I said, stability is not a weakness. It's a strategy to do the things that you want to do. And don't laugh at Dame Dash. You can learn from it.
And I will say salute to everybody who was motivated by the interview Dame Dash did up here on the Breakfast Club 10 years ago. But when you talk about being your own boss, when you talk about ownership, all those conversations are great. But Dame never really gave a blueprint to do it, And I wonder for those who were inspired by that convo 10 years ago, how do you feel now seeing the situation Dame is in? Or do you just take the message and not listen to the messenger? Because I think over the last decade, there has been a lot of people who have told you how to do it,
correct,
as opposed to just telling you to do it. It's one thing to say, be your own boss. Quit your job. You don't need to work for nobody. Your boss is your daddy. My son sells cookies. All of that is cool. But, you still had to give a blueprint on how to do that. And I think over the last decade, we've seen these conversations of financial literacy grow in our communities, and people have given you some blueprints.
Great conversations, but like you said, it's if you don't know how, you have to learn, and sometimes being stable, it's not a weakness, right? Getting your monthly check and having health insurance is not a weakness. It should be a strategy to get to where you need to be.
Or listen to people who actually have successful businesses.
Correct.
We have a genre of people who are making money, telling people how to make money.
But the thing
that can't be the business.
But the thing is, you got to know who's really doing it, right? Because we all thought Dame was really doing it.
That's
right?
why I love John O'Brien.
You see John O'Brien,
That's
and then you see things like when I seen TDE the other day, and he was talking about, I jumped on a Spirit flight from LA to Vegas to get to the show. Right. It only cost me $99. If I'd have flew private, it would have been $12,000. He got it, but he's smart with it.
Hey, John Hope Bryant, Don Peebles, Cheryl McKissick, Tyler Perry. I'm listening to people who actually have businesses. You know what I'm saying? Who can tell me how to build that.
Hove.
Yes. I don't I tried. I didn't want to say Tyler or Hove just because they're the entertainers. That's why I said Cheryl, Don, and
but a lot of them came from
John O'Brien.
Like we've seen Hove where he came from and what he's done. So Tyler Perry the same.
And I felt like that just a stab saying Hove right now at a time like that.
Oh,
damn! I didn't even think about it like that.
I think
say it again, Jess.
No, I didn't.
Damn.
No, I didn't.
All right. Did they say anything about the cookies?
Yo, shut up, man. That is the latest with Loren. That is the latest with Loren. All right, when we come back, we got the People's Choice Mix. Don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now we got a salute to Rodney Jerkins for joining us this morning.
Man, salute to Rodney Jerkins, man. Dark Child, one of the super producers of our generation. He's getting inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
That's right. He also brought his artist John Keith with him as well. His new album comes out June 27th. It's called Grow Wings. So salute to Rodney Jerkins, man. He produced so many records, man. So many records, was from Michael Jackson to Whitney Houston to Brandy
Destiny's
to
Child.
A Boogie with a Hoodie. It was so many joints.
And then he was so young doing all that.
That's right.
That's crazy. He young now, but I'm just saying he was so young working with all them old legends like that.
That's right.
I forgot to ask him about the resurgence of that Tamia song that everybody do the line dance. What's the name of that song?
Can't get enough.
Can't get enough.
Yeah, he produced that as well.
Sure did. I can't wait to see you guys. I think Atlantic City is almost sold out for Vibes Cartel. I think they have like maybe 20, 30 tickets left. So if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. We're going to have an amazing time out there in Atlantic City. You're going to be in Pittsburgh this weekend, right?
I am going to be in Pittsburgh tomorrow and on Saturday. Y'all can meet me at the Improv. The shows are selling out, guys. I will be doing meet and greet the last show of each night. We got 2 shows tomorrow, 2 shows Saturday. Get your tickets right now at JessHilariousOfficial.com. Buffalo next week. I will be there Friday and Saturday. I'm coming right up the street, y'all. So get y'all tickets, JessHilariousOfficial.com. Y'all can meet me at Helium. Then Monday, June 16th, the More Love Foundation presents Dads on the Green. So we're honoring 50 fathers in Baltimore at the Top Golf. Make sure you come and get your drinks, food, giveaways, good music. And also shout out to Fulton Bank. Can't wait to see y'all. 50 dads the day after Father's Day.
There you go. Now, Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
I do have a positive note, and it's really simple, man. Learn from the mistakes of others, because you can't live long enough to make them all yourself. Have a great day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?